Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to day 20 of the 10 and 20 challenge. And no, today is not the last day. We are going to go ahead and do days 21 through 30, just because this is a really super healthy challenge. I don't see any reason why we would stop at day 20. So I am making something that is similar to one of the recipes that was from the last set of days, but just switching it up in terms of the flavors a little bit. I don't really want a Mexican flavor, and I'm also not planning on cooking kale right at the moment. So I'm going to make the sweet potato and kale recipe, but instead of making it Mexican flavored, I'm going to make it Greek flavored, and instead of making it with kale, I'm going to use other cruciferous vegetables. So obviously cruciferous are like one of the healthiest vegetables you could come across, but there's other things in that category besides kale. So there's cauliflower, there's broccoli, there's cabbage, there's Brussels sprouts, there are others. So what I'm going to do is use some of the others with the sweet potato to make a Greek flavored sweet potato dish. So what you need first is a cooked sweet potato. I don't remember if you guys remember seeing the sweet potatoes that my husband had picked up for me, but like they're massive. So this is half of one. I chopped up the other half of it and it's sitting on my cutting board in front of me. And what I'm going to do is put some sweet potato layer and then put a layer of vegetables and a little bit of black beans and then repeat that layer again. And then in a separate dish, I'm going to put the spices together that'll make it more of a Greek flavor, and we're gonna go from there. So I am going to tilt the camera down so that you guys can see what it is that I'm putting in the dish, and then from there we'll make some gooey yumminess that goes on top. So let's take a look. Alrighty guys, so the first thing that's gonna go in our dish is going to be some sweet potatoes, and these are really hot still, but that's okay. We'll just put them in there. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need, but I just want a nice little layer of sweet potato in the bottom of the dish. And then if I need to cut up some more, I will cut up some more. Okay, that looks pretty good. We're gonna put some vegetables in on top of that. Actually, that's probably gonna be a little bit too much. So we won't make two layers. We'll just make one layer of each because that's not going to work out very well. So okay, there's the layer of sweet potatoes, and now we're gonna put in some vegetables. So I know this might look like kind of a random concoction of vegetables, but it's something that my husband served to the boys. And so there are green beans and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower. There's some a little bit of garlic in here. So anyway, I'm just draining the liquid off. All that is water and liquid aminos, but I don't really need the saltiness. It'll be in some of the vegetables anyway. Okay, there's our layer of vegetables. And now we need to put in, there's just a tiny little bit of black beans in this, so just give it a little bit of extra. A little bit of extra. That's all there is to it, just a little bit of extra. So there's that. Oh, this was my spoon I was going to use for the garlic. I'll have to wash that. Okay guys, so there is our layers of food that are going to make up a Greek sweet potato, okay? And now what we're going to do is make the sauce to go on top of it. So in here, I already have probably about, it's probably less than a quarter to be honest with you, of an avocado. So what we'll do is we'll take an avocado and put it in our NutriBullet and a lot of water and blend it and fill up this container. And that's what we use on our hummus platters to make a little bit of greenery across the top, make it really super pretty and creamy and rich and delicious. So anyway, that's what was left from the hummus platters from last night. So I'm going to take that, and into that, I'm going to be adding some garlic because I like garlic. So we're going to put a decent amount of garlic in there. So that goes on the top. I'm going to add, this to me is what makes the Greek flavors. So obviously this is not necessary, but nutritional yeast, I like the way that it flavors, the way that it adds the flavor to a Greek dish, so we're gonna add some of that. Smoked paprika, this one adds a really nice flavor when you're going for a Greek dish. There we go. And the last but not least is some oregano. Oregano is just a wonderful combination here. Goes really, really well. And then on top of that, I'm also going to put in some, I have some chopped up purple onion. So I'm going to put actually a fair amount of that in there because I want that to be a very predominant flavor when I go to eat it. So I've got some chopped up purple onion. And then I'm also going to add a very small amount of chopped olives. And I don't actually care for olives, but for some reason in a Greek dish, they just, I don't know, they just work. I would not ever eat an entire black olive, ever. They're way too salty for me. But together, the whole flavor just goes really, really well. So let me wash my hands real quick, and then I'll show you guys what this looks like all mixed up. All right, guys, so this might look a little bit sketchy, but honestly, it's very good. So there is the topping that goes onto it that's going to make it Greek flavored. So I will have this wonderful dish of vegetables, sweet potato, vegetables, and black beans, and on it I'm going to put a little bit of this, basically this is going to stay cold. This will get warmed up. I'll put a little bit of a forkful and eat it with some of this. It's going to be really, really delicious. I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, that is what I'm going to take with me to eat today. I'm not sure. I'll obviously take something else with me, but probably I'm just going to throw together a salad real quick. I'll talk to you later about whatever else it is that I managed to put together, but that's it for now. Gotta go clean up some kitchen stuff, and I am making banana rice pudding for the kids for breakfast this morning, so it's already 4:20. I need to go do that. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys again later. Bye. Alrighty guys, so I had my salad and my grapes this morning, and they were super, super yummy, very delicious. And then maybe about 1:30, I had my sweet potato with the veggies and avocado sauce and all that good stuff. It was awesome. It was really, really tasty, actually. That was really good. So I would totally do that again. And seeing as the vegetables were already made, that just was easy. So didn't need to cook up the kale or anything like that. I really can't decide what I'm going to make tomorrow for food. I would like to use the baby bok choy that I have in the refrigerator. So I was thinking some kind of like miso soup or something along those lines. But I just didn't really find any recipes that I thought were overly awesome that I really wanted to try. So I still don't know what I want to do. That's not going to help out at all, is it? If I sit way far back, maybe I can not be in the sunlight too badly. Sorry. But I don't really know what I want to do with it. So obviously just about everything that I saw online was either with mushrooms or, which is fine, or what else did it have? Ginger, which is okay too. I'm not a huge fan, I don't think. Pretty sure I'm not a huge fan. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn as to what to do with the silly little bok choy. They look like they would be really tasty. I'm sure that I could make them into something that would be delicious. But my biggest concern is if I make them into some kind of a miso type soup, that they're going to be like all soggy and gross by the time I want to eat them at lunchtime tomorrow. So if I make them like tomorrow morning really early, by the time I get around to eating them and reheating them up, then they're going to be all soggy and icky. I don't know. I don't know what you do. And I also have a bunch of zucchini at home that I need to do something with, which is totally cool. I love zucchini. That's really yummy. I could just make zoodles, zucchini noodles, and put a little bit of spaghetti sauce on them. That would be tasty. Seems kind of like taking the easy way out though. So, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do for food tomorrow. And this week is another odd week for me. I have to work. Today is Wednesday, and I normally work Wednesday, Thursday up at my part-time job, but I'm also working Friday up there. So, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing for food. But I'll figure something out, and I will show it to you guys. So, I got a call from my doctor's office, and I'm waiting for the lab work to come through on the, there's like a little WebMD type portal. It's not WebMD, it's NextMD portal, patient something or other. Anyway, whatever it is, it'll have like all my lab work and all that kind of stuff on it. But she did want to talk about the fact that apparently my vitamin D level is crazy low, like crazy, crazy low. I think it said that, I remember seeing that anywhere from 39 to 100 is normal, and my level is 7. So, not a huge shock. I'm a night dweller. I mean, not because I want to be necessarily, but I work nights, so I'm up at night and I sleep during the day when the sun's out. So, anyways, she said that it's low enough that I need to be on prescription vitamin D for 6 weeks. So I would assume that they called in the 50,000 units. Take once a week for 6 weeks. And then after that, I'll need to continue with a vitamin D supplement, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. I don't mind. But I do kind of wonder if that is part of the reason why I've been so doggone tired for like the last, I don't know, 4 to 6 months. Vitamin D deficiency can lead to all sorts of things like hair loss and bone loss and fatigue, depression, anxiety, sore muscles, body aches and pains. I don't know. I'm not really too worried about the symptoms, to be honest with you, of what it might cause, but if it is what is causing me to be so dang tired all the time, then that would be kind of nice to fix, I suppose. So that's a good thing to get that checked out and figured out. I probably will end up taking, I'll take the prescription like I'm supposed to. I'll be good. And then after that's done, I'll probably end up taking like 2,000 international units of vitamin D after that and just call it another thing that I take. Like I take the lysine to prevent the cold sores, and I take the vitamin B12 3 or 4 times a week. She didn't mention anything about the vitamin B12, so I'm not sure if that came back and it was fine or if it just hadn't come back yet. I don't know. So it probably came back and it was absolutely fine because I do take a supplement for it, so it was probably no big deal. But what this does tell me is that I do need to get my husband in to get his lab work done so that we can make sure that he's doing okay as well and everything is fine with him. So I am looking forward to seeing what my cholesterol level came back at. I'm not necessarily looking forward to seeing what it came back at. I'm just looking forward to hoping that it's less than it was last year and it's going in the right direction. And if it's not, then I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that information because I haven't had anything with cholesterol in it in over 2 years. And saturated fat, as far as I know, comes primarily from plant sources like chocolate and coconut. I don't eat any coconut whatsoever, and I don't particularly care for chocolate, so I don't have that very often. Like I would never just eat like a chocolate candy bar or something like that, even if it was vegan. No. So I'm not a huge fan of chocolate. So anyways, not 100% sure what's going to be happening with that, but when I get my levels back, I'll figure out what I need to do. Maybe the next challenge that I need to do will be a cholesterol lowering challenge. Like I know that eating things like oatmeal every day is supposed to be really good for you, and obviously limiting your fats and oils is supposed to be very good for you for that. I don't know. I would have to look it up to see what it is that I would need to do to get my cholesterol level to come back down naturally. I'm not really interested in taking medication, but my mom does have elevated cholesterol. She has for a very long time, but she is also overweight. So, I don't know. I'm also overweight still, so I don't know how much of that plays a role in it as well. But we'll get it figured out, guys. That's what this whole thing is all about, just figuring life out. So anyway, now that the sun is going to be on me for the next while, I'm going to say goodnight and let you guys go. So I hope you had a fabulous day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow and let you know what's going on with the rest of my lab work when I have a chance. Well, when I find out, at least. When I find out, you'll find out. Alrighty, guys.